everyone. Welcome to today's power session on how you can crush your GenAI quota with the Inflectra solution, hosted exclusively on AWS. And I'd like to introduce my co-host, Jessica.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jessica Moore. I'm the Director of Global Alliances with Inflectra and the AWS Alliance Lead, and delighted to be here speaking with you today.
Excellent. I'm Adam Sandman. I've mentioned founder and CEO, and we're excited to give you some top tips for how to use the Inflectra solution to really get your AI quota under control and do some great co-selling together. So let's get started. I know time is pressing, so we want to respect everyone's time here and keep it fast. And let's talk first of all a little bit about Inflectra. We are an AWS partner. We've been partner on the AWS marketplace for about 7 or 8 years. We're an AWS ISV Accelerate partner with field service promotions. We're headquartered in the Washington, D.C. area, and our entire solution is built 100% on AWS. We are in the AWS marketplace for all of our products, and we recently acquired many competencies in a lot of key industries, including healthcare, finance, government, DevOps, and generative AI. Jessica, anything you'd like to add?
Well, actually, I'd like to add that we know how important it is to hustle, and we have achieved those competencies all within a span of about 7 months. And we are on the cusp of our Gen AI competency, which is super exciting. So we're ready to go.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about some of the ways we can help you with your, sales and quota around generative AI. I mean, Gen AI is transforming the software development industry. If you go on LinkedIn, I'm seeing it everywhere. Everyone wants to talk about how you can use Gen AI to improve productivity, turbocharge growth, and achieve a lot of key use cases in the business. And so there's a lot of things that we're doing at Inflectra, and this is our 5-point plan of why we think we can help you out. Now, number 5 may be the most interesting, which is because we're hosted on AWS exclusively, a lot of our customers are going to start, once they start using our platform, there's a lot of other additional AWS services they'll start to use, which they can then expand upon, things like Bedrock, Nova, SageMaker, EC2, Lambda, CloudWatch, ECS, EKS. And that's really kind of the end goal. But to start at the beginning, one of the things I like to think about is Inflectra is kind of like the tip of the spear in the military term. We can get into customers that maybe don't have a large AWS footprint, or maybe they're using Azure, or maybe they're still, cloud agnostic, or just getting involved with the cloud. They can use our platform to really onboard really quickly, use it to solve some of their key use cases. And as a partner with AWS, you can get compensated for those sales right away. We can bring it as a private offer, where benefit for the co-sell benefit for SaaS products and ISV Accelerate. So right away, we can help you make some money on those sales. But beyond that, there's additional workloads we can then bring to bear. And we have an expansion program where we help you and our customer work together to expand the business, find other types of opportunity, both Inflectra products, AWS services, but also other ISV and other SI services that may be interested in expanding the relationship as well. Jessica, what are some of the things that you found, successful talking to our AWS partners, ISVs and SIs?
Multi-partner programs are getting a lot of attention right now. So the idea of having multiple ISVs working together with an SI or a couple of SIs to really drive some of that additional consumption, as well as to provide a more comprehensive solution for the customer. Because one of the slides that came up at Partner Equip, which I attended last week, was about customers not coming to AWS to buy a set of tires and a carburetor and an engine. They want to buy the whole car. So the idea that we can work with sellers, work with ISVs, and work with SIs to put together an entire product for the customer is what's really exciting, I think, for some of the sellers and some of the partners there.
That's great. Absolutely. And one more thing I'd like to mention, as I did not mention it already, is generative AI. We recently released our generative AI capability natively on our platform. And this is available for all of our customers hosted in the cloud. And one of the things we're finding is, as a business, we have some customers that are either self-hosting it or hosting on Azure. And when they host it on our SaaS platform on AWS, they get access to our integrated Gen AI capability. And that's been driving significant workload migration of our product from on-premise or Azure or other cloud providers onto AWS, part of the Workload Migration Program, because not only are they seeing the benefits of cloud from an operational cost perspective, but they can now use the AI capability, which is only on the cloud version. So that's been really exciting. It's been a way for us to increase their usage of our platform on AWS, but also starts to get them using AI and do it in a way that's very, I think, low impact to the organization from a compliance standpoint. We take care of all the legal side of things with our responsible AI program, and so they can use AI and get going, and then it opens the door for other AI sales as well, other AI use cases within their organization. And then moving on from the AI story, which of course is huge, we can also help clients and our partners at AWS meet their different goals. And that could be both the goals for sellers, for Inflectra, and also for other, you said, other ISV or other SI partners. One of the things to mention, if you look at this 5-point plan, is that our landing size deal is decent with a good ACV, but there's significant expansion opportunities beyond that initial landing point. We can bring other workloads into AWS from Azure or GCP. And we also target some of the key AWS strategic geos, particularly the GCC, the Gulf region. We attend the GITEX conference every year, same as AWS, and we engage a lot of customers there that are new to the cloud, new to AI. And this is a greenfield area where I think a lot of the cloud providers are looking to expand their business. We're already there. We've got customers there already, and we can help expand business there. Anything on this, Jessica, you'd like to talk about, to highlight?
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm sure I don't have to tell you and the people here that Gen AI and agentic AI are huge topics of conversation at AWS. And the idea of the billions of dollars in growth that they're going to see in this area is really exciting to everybody there. So I know that they're encouraging ISVs to develop their Gen AI solutions and bring them to the marketplace. And in fact, ours is ready to go, and it's exciting, and it's something that isn't native to AWS. So the idea that we can provide something in addition to the services that AWS already provides to their customers, and it's something that will increase productivity so dramatically from a QA perspective for the customers is pretty exciting.
Absolutely. And one thing to mention is that not only are we using Amazon Bedrock, we're also using Amazon Nova. So we're using the native Amazon models to do that. I know a lot of customers are maybe new to those models. We found them to be incredibly cost effective and high performance as compared to some of the other models that you can use on AWS. So we are using the native AWS Nova models for our AI solution. Moving on from that, I would like to mention some of the workloads that we've seen. Many of our customers come to us from Greenfield, but there are a lot of people who have existing IT infrastructure that they want to migrate to our solution and to the cloud. Here are some of the use cases that we've seen most successful. Number one is Microsoft Azure DevOps. A lot of customers may be using that because it comes effectively built into Azure, but Azure DevOps is not necessarily enterprise grade for a lot of their use cases on the testing side, the requirement side, the planning side. Microsoft Test Manager, Team Foundation Server. A lot of these sort of baked in Azure services are not best of breed as compared to when they can bring their own services onto AWS. And so by using our migration tools and our platform as an alternative, we can bring them better capabilities and the best of breed on AWS and Inflectra. And similarly, on the on-premise side, there are a lot of legacy IT tools that are in our space, in the ALM space, like OpenText ALM, Octane, TestRail, TestLink, and the IBM Rational Suite, which I haven't heard of for a while. But it's amazing how many IT organizations still have these old tools running on premise. They've had them for 10 years. They're running on legacy hardware that's being outdated. They want to move to the cloud. We can make this a one-day migration, and with the AWS Workload Migration credits, we can make it a cost-effective migration as well. And that then brings them onto the cloud and then frees up resources for other projects within the organization. And I also want to talk about our AWS partnership, which we are an AWS partner, and as I said, Jessica's our alliance lead. Are there any things you'd like to talk about the partnership in a wider sense?
It would be important to note that we do have our CRM connected with ACE, so we work closely with our sellers when when those deals are coming through. We like to make sure that we're collaborating, to make sure that we're addressing everything the customer needs, to make sure that we can provide information to the sellers about the customer. Should there be, as we're the tip of the spear into AWS, what more would the seller like to know? How can we help them bring more services over for the customer and make sure that the customer is being taken care of from an end-to-end solution?
Absolutely. And as it says here, we also take part in enterprise discount program and PPA. So if clients have spend they want to use and they're needing to spend on a solution in our space, they can use that existing committed spend for our product through a marketplace private offer. The other thing is we are, again, on the ISV Workload Migration Program, so we can bring a lot of those workloads from on-premise into the cloud. And our footprint is geographically global. We're based in the US, headquartered in DC, but we have customers in the APAC region, EMEA, and LATAM, banks, insurance companies, utilities. A lot of the industries we're serving, government, life sciences, energy, and utilities. Across the world, we're bringing those customers to our platform and to the AWS platform as well, which is really exciting, I think, seeing that growth. And as you mentioned, we are doing a lot of work with our own SI community and the AWS SI community to do these multi-partner deals.
And I think we have, given our global presence, we have customers of ours who are quite a few of them on the T2K list. So we're working with our Amazon partners or AWS partner sales managers to really target some of those enterprise organizations to bring them to AWS.
Absolutely. Excellent. Well, just moving on to a little bit about Inflectra. I know we've talked a lot about our relationship, but for those who maybe are not familiar with our product offering, our product offering helps customers manage their most critical IT assets, everything from planning the requirements of a new IT project or maybe a migration project, everything from that to testing, development, QA, the entire software lifecycle we help manage. And we particularly help for those clients that are working in these complex industries that align with our competencies like energy, utilities, government, life sciences, banking and finance, insurance. In these industries, when you're building a new IT solution, upgrading a solution, doing a modernization, you have to manage the project. You've got to manage the requirements, the risks, the tests, the QA. All the end-to-end lifecycle is managed in our platform, and it really helps them be agile, but also compliant with all the regulations they have to do. So we are the trusted, solution for these kinds of mission-critical IT projects. And in particular, some of the use cases we've seen in these projects using Gen AI, we're using AI right now to speed up the QA, speed up the generation of test cases, test scripts. We're using the natural language capability to write tests, turn that into automation. We're also using some of the new agentic AI features in Bedrock to be able to do autonomous testing. So as you're speeding up development using tools like Amazon Q for developers, we can speed up the testing and project management side at that same cadence so that as the developers are getting faster and faster and writing more code and apps are being migrated faster and faster, we can do all of the compliance and testing at that same increased speed using AI to generate test cases, risks, test plans, automated testing. And that really allows the QA testing and business analysis team and the IT management team to keep up with the speed of development, which I think is really exciting. Jessica, anything you'd like to add on some of the use cases we're doing?
I think, key focus is modernizations, and that's where we have fit really well, moving a lot of some of our customers being legacy systems, like you mentioned, and really bringing them over to AWS and making their systems more modern, more agile, more business focused is a strength of ours. And adding the generative AI in there has just made it even that more modern, that more agile, and that more exciting for our customers.
Absolutely. So in terms of go-to-market, we can help customers obviously, in any country, in any industry. But in terms of our ICP and go-to-market together with AWS, we do focus a lot on the enterprise IT customer market, mid-market to enterprise, particularly in the industries I talked about earlier, healthcare, finance, energy, government, and manufacturing. We also do a lot in insurance and banking, specifically within finance. We also work with outsourced dev and QA teams, so professional services, the big five, some of the smaller and mid-sized boutique players, whether that's doing an ERP migration or an outsourced QA activity. So a lot of the teams in these projects we work with and companies in that space, consultancies and third-party integrators and ISVs. We also are working with startups in the regulated space. So though we may be targeting mid-market to enterprise, if you've got a biotech startup or a fintech startup that has to comply with DORA or 21 Part 11 FDA, we can help provide that same level of compliance as well. And the other thing we're also working is if a customer is an enterprise ISV, for example, one of our customers is Jagger, they build a ERP system for procurement that's sold to enterprises. We often work with the enterprise software ISVs that sell to those customers as well. So it all comes from those enterprise customers, but it might be the customers, it might be a consultancy, or it might be an enterprise software player that's used in that space as well. Another example is Deltek, which is an ERP for government organizations. And
I
some of the
think it's
key,
great that you mentioned, sorry, that you
no
mentioned
problem.
regulated industries, Adam, because they are so verticalized. The transition in AWS has put industries into those verticals. So we know that the sellers are learning a lot about the particular solutions in those verticals. We have our competencies for many of the verticals. We're also very horizontal. So DevOps is its own vertical, but we can work in any industry. We just are specialized for some of those regulated industries. So it's kind of an interesting position that we find ourselves in, sort of horizontal as in the GenAI and SMB.
Absolutely. And one thing we can also do, if a customer does come to us with a unique industry use case, we can also use our Spira app framework to build a specific feature for that industry that then can be turned on just for those customers. We've done that for other industries that we already have ready in the market for. But if you come across a use case that we haven't thought of for a customer, we are customer obsessed like AWS, and we can build that effectively niche product for that industry very quickly in our platform. And as it says at the bottom, we can launch POCs in minutes, but we can scale enterprise wide really quickly. We've got clients that started in one team within a week, and within a few months, they're already scaling it enterprise wide. So we can get adoption really quickly with our training and SI partners helping us as part of that. And also, we believe the better together story, and we live that internally. We work with a lot of big IT players in the industry. Many of these ISVs you see here are Amazon partners, people like Atlassian and GitLab, and we integrate with them very closely. We have over 80 integrations, and one of the key things is we support those integrations, so we don't make customers have to support them. If a customer buys our product or our platform, we can help with these integrations. They're all out of the box, but when customers need help configuring them, our SI partner network and the AWS SI partner network can help customers get up and running with these integrations even faster. One thing to mention is our customer base. So customers are really important to us. And these are some of the example customers we work with. And as Jessica mentioned, we are a horizontal company. Our DevOps and GenAI solution works across all industries. But these are some of the key customers we've helped across those different industries. We cover, and as you can see here, that we cross different geographies as well. Telstra in Australia, Berkeda in the US, Marvel in the US, NTT in South Africa, Northrop Grumman, Lockheed, and you can see IQVIA in UK and North America. So many of these customers do straddle multiple geos, and we do have account management teams aligned by industry and geo. So if you've got a customer that you need help with, we have our own account teams that work with your account team to be able to coordinate, help do a co-sell motion. This is our customer list. This was the last slide we had. Anything else you'd like to wrap up with, Jessica?
Just to say, we're excited to be working with AWS. We've been on the marketplace for a long time, but we've really leaned into this partnership in the last about 15 months. We were nominated for an SCA. We had 2 PDMs, including a GenAI PDM. We're thrilled to be working with you and look forward to engaging and taking any questions you have.
Thank you very much. Well, if you aren't any questions, thank you for watching this and have a great rest of the day, and let's go sell some business together.